So what's going on, guys? I am BlackOpsAmazing. Welcome back to another video. Today we have a bunch of information about the next Call of Duty, which we know is Modern Warfare 2, being developed by Infinity Ward. We've also got the revenue that Activision earned this year from Call of Duty, which tell us basically what we all knew before this year's COD. Anyway, along with a load of other things as well, so let's just get straight into this. So I think I can say we've all been waiting to hear about the sales from this year's COD. We do know from a post that we got a few months ago, when Vanguard first released back in November, that this is the worst selling launch title any Call of Duty has had for 14 years, since 2007. That was on the PlayStation. I'm not too sure about Xbox sales, but to think that 2007 was really the beginning of Call of Duty, and what I mean by that is that's when it started to take off and gain popularity. Of course we had COD before that, but 2007 Modern Warfare, that was the first game that I think started COD on the track it's on now to be the behemoth that it is today. And pretty much ever since then, year on year, 2008, 09, 10, 11, etc. This franchise has gotten bigger and bigger every year. With that also leads to better sales. And so 14 years after COD took off, you would think it would still continue to grow. But to find out this is the worst launch COD has had since then, well, it's pretty damning. And if you play the game, any mode, multiplayer, zombies, even the campaign I think is pretty weak, it's clear to see why that is. And the game being bad isn't the only reason. There are multiple factors that come into this. The time when it released, we had other games such as Halo and Battlefield. Okay, maybe no one's playing Battlefield, but Halo was a big launch, so something to take into consideration is people were just playing other games instead of COD because of the time when it released. Another major factor that I think comes into it is the fact that this is a World War II game. I predicted a year ago when it was first leaked that Sledgehammer were doing another World War II COD. Remember that their last one was set during World War II. In terms of marketing, that game did very well. If you look at the likes it got on YouTube, it is very high, but the main reason for that was because its predecessor, Infinite Warfare, had such a bad reception. It was one of the most disliked videos ever on YouTube. So what I think Sledgehammer and Activision did was they looked at the reception that the original World War II game got and thought, you know what, we'll do that again. But as soon as I heard the news a year ago that we were getting another World War II COD, I said, no, this is a terrible idea. Just in my personal opinion, I feel like World War II games are kind of over now. People are past that era. Lately, I guess, in the past 10 years, we haven't had too many World War II games, but before then, every FPS that we got, they were all set during World War II. So if you're older than, I don't know, 18, 19, 20, in the earlier days of your gaming life, you more than likely would have played a ton of World War II shooters. So being a person that's played a lot of them in the past, when I heard that we were getting another one, especially because we just had Sledgehammer's first one back in 2017, I wasn't excited for it at all. I think World War II was totally the wrong setting to do. So that was another reason, and the third one was I think people are just getting a little bit bored of COD releasing every single year. That may fix in time with Xbox's acquisition of Activision, hopefully next year. Maybe we can start to see COD moving away from the yearly cycles and developers getting more time. But at this moment, I think people are just getting a little bit bored of this series. So putting all three of those together, the fact that the game is set in World War II, when it released in November, there were a few other games that came out at the same time as well. The game itself isn't very good, and also people seem to be getting a little bit tired of COD releasing every year. All of those things together were just an explosion waiting to happen, and, well, it did, because as we can see from what Charlie Intel tweeted, Activision confirmed that Call of Duty Vanguard sales were lower compared to previous years, which also led to lower engagement in Call of Duty Warzone during Q4. Even without this information, we could have guessed this anyway. All you've got to do is look online, look at the amount of interest in the game. It isn't there. Usually it's a good indicator when you see people talking positively about something, or there is a high amount of interest in a game on YouTube, or I don't know, people talking about it on Twitter. That's a good indication that a game is doing well, and Vanguard, from what I've experienced, has the lowest interest than any other Call of Duty I can remember ever on YouTube. And Activision even said in their statement that this has also led to lower engagement in Call of Duty Warzone. I don't play it anymore, but with Vanguard we got a new Warzone map, which was Caldera, and just looking at Twitch or YouTube streams, I've even noticed that people aren't streaming Caldera or Warzone ever since this new map released. And even me as a viewer, I'm not really interested in watching people play this map either. But going on from this, we were told what Activision's revenue was in 2021, and that was 8.35 billion. In Q4 of 2021, so during the release date of Vanguard, November, and a little bit before that as well, so the previous COD, Activision generated 1.2 billion in revenue. That was from in-game content. So obviously when I'm talking about their sales being lower than usual, they're still bringing in a ton of money. It would be very interesting to see what their earnings would be throughout 2022, because as I just mentioned, a lot of 2021, it would have been Black Ops Cold War that brought that in, and Warzone, whereas I would assume most of the revenue generated in 2022 will be Warzone's Caldera and Vanguard. So will it be higher than the 8.35 billion they brought in last year? I wouldn't think so. And something which is also kind of funny, Call of Duty Mobile generated over 1 billion in revenue in 2021. It's a game that I really don't think about. I forget it exists, but it does, and it's also very big. But yeah, I could have did predict this about a year ago when we heard this game was going to be set during World War II. It wasn't a time period that most people wanted to go back to just because we've done it so much. You're also pretty limited on what you can do compared to modern day or near future. The marketing for the game about 10 months ago, there wasn't any excitement for it, and there really wasn't on the day of release. It was just the wrong, and thinking about it now, a weird decision to make. Why did they decide to make another World War II game? I don't know. But anyway, at the same time that they announced all of this, they also announced the next Call of Duty, or at least who the developers are going to be, which we know is Infinity Ward. We've heard a lot of this information through leaks previous as well, so this is just a confirmation, I guess. Infinity Ward tweeted, "A new generation of Call of Duty is coming soon. Stay frosty." The Stay Frosty part being a reference to the Modern Warfare franchise. We know this game is Modern Warfare 2. From what we've heard, it's Modern Warfare 2019 on steroids. So if you liked that game, you should love this. If you didn't like it, maybe you'll hate this even more, or it'll change your mind. We'll have to wait and see. Personally, I like Modern Warfare 2019, so it sounds pretty exciting, and Infinity Ward are the only studio to have had the full 3-year development time, and from what we've heard, the game is in very good condition. Activision said, "The team is working on the most ambitious plan in franchise history, with industry-leading innovation and a broadly appealing franchise setting." That takes me back to Vanguard. They say that Activision know that the modern setting is appealing, yet for this game they went back to World War II. It baffles me. But a little bit more about it. Per Activision Blizzard's earnings release, development on Call of Duty 2022 and Warzone experiences for later this year are being led by Infinity Ward Studios. We have heard recently of a Warzone 2 being in development, and that when Infinity Ward's game does release later this year, we'll be getting a new Warzone map along with it, which is pretty funny to me because Verdansk lasted from 2019 up until 2021, yet it seems like Caldera is only going to last from 2021 to 2022, so a year. And the final quote I wanted to show about it, they said, "Our teams are executing against an exciting pipeline of content planned for 2022. Activision expects to drive a renewed expansion in Call of Duty franchise later this year with groundbreaking all new experiences." I don't know too much about what the third mode in this game is going to be, but from the few things I have heard, it's going to be a Tarkov-like experience, whatever that means. The game obviously is going to have a third mode. Previously, in Modern Warfare 2019, Infinity Ward did Spec Ops. They've also done Zombies and Extinction as well, so if the leaks are true, the third mode this year is going to be some Tarkov kind of experience, whatever that means, I don't know. So there we go. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. As always, hopefully you've enjoyed the video today. If you have, drop a like rating. Make sure you are subscribed to stay up to date with the latest content on the channel, and as always, I will see you in the next one. Until then, goodbye.